Hello and welcome to the return of Cinema Savvy News. It is myself, George, and obviously you're on the Cinema Savvy movie channel. We are bringing back the Cinema Savvy News for the first time in almost 2 years now. Would you believe it? If anyone hasn't been paying attention recently, we've got back on schedule with reviews. We've done a channel update. We're going to be bringing you an updated version of film reactions. We're bringing back movie reviews. We're bringing in anniversary reviews. We've got Film Club going for its third season, and we have the return of the news. Now, for anyone that hasn't joined us over the last year, this was one of our sort of weekly shows that we were able to schedule to. This became something where we'd have two or three of us jump on each week, and in this kind of sort of new era, I guess we could say, with StreamYard, I feel that it was something that we could bring back, and we're going to give it a go myself alone. Fingers crossed for some of the bigger episodes we can get some of the other guys in. It's something we're going to be doing aiming for a Monday, 9 p.m. UK time. Apologies, I'm a bit late. Now, this is me hosting StreamYard for the first time. I've got all these overlays, and I've never, ever been on this dashboard, so I'm going to do what Tate and Chris do. I'm going to hype up the social media. So I believe if you look at the screen, it should say our Facebook, which is facebook.com/cinemasavvy. We have Twitter @cinema_savvy, and the exact same on Instagram @cinema_savvy. So we have also said that we're going to be doing more social media posts. We've got plenty going on Facebook. We've been getting really active on Twitter, and we've also got Instagram happening as well. So have a follow on there. We'll be announcing some of our new shows, hyping up new shows. We've got an IT review coming the weekend. So I'm going to kind of use the opening of this just to kind of talk about what you're going to expect to change. Anyone new to the channel, you know, this is kind of how we roll. This is what we're doing. And anyone that's been with us before, you kind of know how this is going to go. Now, with the news, ironically, this is probably been one of the deadest news weeks in quite a while. The week before last, we had D23 and tons of news. So that's more on me that we didn't get anything up for that. However, the past week has been dominated by a singular film, a singular character with a singular actor. This is, of course, Joker, which starring Joaquin Phoenix. Now, first of all, I want to say Chris did a very good sort of like a live reaction discussion video. It's worth checking that out for his thoughts on that. He's got Dale coming on as well, and I would recommend having a quick view of that. I'm not going to sit here giving my thoughts on a film trailer. This is something that you've probably seen yourself. If you're checking in, if you snap thumbnail, this is our main story, not just because of the trailer, but at the weekend this premiered at Venice Film Festival. Joaquin Phoenix was in attendance, and it was something that was very, personally, it was very interesting to see, because this was almost 2 years ago this film was announced. Now, I still wasn't sure if they were being serious by having a Joker film. Not the fact it wasn't including Batman, but, you know, we've now had 3 Jokers in 11 years. But we speak for the world when the moment they said Joaquin Phoenix is going to be on this, everybody was intrigued. It's an actor that picks his projects so wisely, picks them one at a time. He's really in that elite bracket with your Daniel Day-Lewis's, with your Leonardo DiCaprio's, and that's what people had intrigued. Now, of course, they also said this is going to be rated R. This is going to be a film with the origin of the Joker, and it's kind of had everybody on board, I think it's a fair way of saying it. We waited for that first trailer that dropped last year, the design of the Joker. And this doesn't seem like something we've seen before, and this isn't me giving my thoughts on Joker, but the last year of marketing for this has been very, very, very well done, to the point where, you know, before filming began, they released the Joker look, because the last thing they wanted was for it to leak on set, him running through the streets, because there were so many set videos when this was filming. That was smart. Dropping the posters was smart. The first teaser was one of my favorite trailers of the year. And last week, as many films do, in the lead up to a festival where it will debut, you kind of got your final trailer. And we're into this sort of not Disney era, but I kind of want to say post Star Wars Episode 8 era, where the almighty elite films, your Endgames, your Star Wars, you're getting 2 trailers now. You're getting your main trailer / a teaser, and then you're getting the big one before release. This was that. And they're calling it the final trailer. It's the best way to dub it. And it was incredible. So again, please check out Chris's video for that. Now, what dropped with the trailer, I must say, now forgive me again, this is me trying to attempt this, the new screen sharing pictures. They released 3 posters. So if you have a look at the screen, I think now, we should have the first one. It's obviously one of the iconic images. It's a beautiful poster. It's Joker on the steps. For anyone that hasn't seen it, there's been some very, very good photoshops of none other than Tobey Maguire dancing with Joaquin Phoenix, because who wouldn't want to see that? The second one that has come out has also been probably, again, another iconic image I think we're going to keep saying for this film is it's the kind of the tears, the pulling the face, the smile. Obviously, the first trailer was the Just Smile song, so there was that. And the third, the third poster, which is by far my favorite one, is a singular image, and it's half the face of the Joker, and this really sells the film. If you can have a look at that now, if anyone's watching the screen, that is what you call a poster. The makeup, the quality of the camera, the photo, that is a defining poster. You can put that on any billboard. People know exactly what it is. They know what it is if the word's the Joker, but seeing that, the makeup design, it's truly great. And, you know, Jared Leto's Joker happened. We know that. Unfortunately, that happened. Joaquin Phoenix is, the comparisons from day one have not been to anything other than Jack Nicholson, Cesar Romero, to a degree Mark Hamill with the laugh. The laugh sounds incredible. I cannot wait to hear that on the big screen. But this is a performance where people are really going for it. And when it premiered at Venice, obviously a lot of these festivals, it's either booing or standing ovations. I'm not trying to make as much of that as I can. That's the norm. This got, quote, an 8-minute standing ovation. 8 minutes is excessive. It doesn't need to be said, but it still happened. And what came with that was the fact that, okay, this has gone down well. This got booed. We all know what Warner Brothers are like. This is not going to go in well. They're sort of overconfident, putting it forward for Venice. It's going to be at Toronto. There's Oscar talk everywhere. We kind of not laughed, but people that they really have faith in this. And if it didn't work out, it'd be bad. But when you've got Joaquin Phoenix on board, I don't know if Scorsese produced, but that's one of the original rumors. But you know, you've got Robert De Niro in it as well. It looks more serious than some of his other roles recently. Of course, we've got The Irishman coming up, which we will talk about very briefly later on. I also think that the reaction that had is like, it's a good thing. You know, as I said, you get booed or you get cheered. The most important thing's been not the reviews that have come out, but the thoughts. Some people have gone overboard. Some fans have gone overboard. However, it is all positive. I'm seeing very few negative things about this, which is, to me, is as important as it being great. You know, social media reactions are one thing, but Empire dropping a 5-star review, that does not happen often for comic book films, let alone DC. If people want to bring bias into it, I don't believe there's a bias. They've not been as good, but you know, they gave the Dark Knight trilogy 5 stars each, so please don't complain. The reactions from the actual real critics have been very interesting, and all that's doing, it's marketing the film more and more. I've got people, like my dad included, that they don't know too much about it, but they want to see the Joker trailer. They'd heard about the Joker trailer. They heard about its reaction, and that's a really good thing to see. And this is getting Oscar talk. The Oscars are early next year, February 8th. Nominations January. Right now, you're looking at the two. Obviously, festivals are going to change this, but the two names at the minute being thrown around is Leonardo DiCaprio and Joaquin Phoenix. Now, I'm going to go out on a whim. I say that Christian Bale will enter this discussion when Le Mans 66 comes out. And I also have a gut feeling, and I very, very hope this comes true. I don't know if it will. Adam Driver can get a Best Actor nomination for Marriage Story, which also looks incredible, which also had a premiere. Scorsese, I know this is not really news, but Scorsese introduced him as the best actor of his generation. Coming from Martin Scorsese, that is very, very fun. So that kind of happened. But no, back to Joker. Everything is going in the limelight. It's dominated news for the last week. There's almost nothing that's come out with it. This has truly been one of the, not the standout moments from a festival, but very rarely do you see a comic book film getting the Oscar buzz. You know, Dark Knight had it at the time. Controversially, didn't get nominated for Best Film. Obviously, Black Panther was nominated for Best Film this year. There's talk of Endgame for next year. Now, if Endgame does, I love it. It's getting nominated because it's the highest grossing film in history, which to me is fine, because Avatar got nominated for the exact same thing. If it's kind of like a passing of the torch, they've got 10 nominations. They've got between 5 and 10. I really hope Joker's one of them. I know it's not the right conversation, but I wouldn't mind if Endgame's one of them. And the main thing right now, I think everyone needs to do is keep their heads calm about Joker. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited, but we've got 4 or 5 weeks now, I think, until this film comes out. The last thing you want to do is accidentally overhype it. It's going to be great, and it's great to be excited, but can try and turn it down just a little bit. That's me personally. That's my own opinion. If I can try and not avoid the hype, because I'm totally into that, but if I can bring down some reality, a bit like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, people went in thinking this is going to be the love letter to cinema. It was, but it's not the film people thought. I mean, it was different to what I thought. I still loved it. It's my film of the year so far, but it's all about your expectation and what the critics do to said expectation. So that is my thoughts on Joker. Apologies, I'm running out of breath. I've spoke for 10 minutes by myself. I'm talking quick, so apologies too. Right, so next up, again, I did mention Joker was the biggest thing by far from this week. We've got a little snippet. So for anybody that is a fan of Edgar Wright, his new film, apologies, I almost said the code name for it there. His new film, Last Night in Soho, has just wrapped filming. He has released a first still from the film so that we could see what it looks like, I guess you could say. So I'm just, apologies again, testing this StreamYard. You check the screen now, we should have a photo. Now, I can't figure out the actor. I know that Anya Diolson, or apologies, the one from Glass, Peaky Blinders, for anyone that watches that. She's the lead actress. I don't know if this is her. It's hard to tell with the makeup on the eyes, but in the statement, Edgar Wright said, we wrapped filming last night in Soho, and he's also now reiterated the release date, which is going to be September the 25th, 2020, which is a long time in post-production for a horror film. However, horror films don't tend to do well in summer. It probably wouldn't be ready for March. Bring that September, like It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2. So you've got a nice month there heading into, not Halloween, it's 5 weeks away, but you've got that kind of September, October burst. So very smart release date for that one. Next up, again, there's not much to say on it. We've only got a photo. I'm not going to, one thing I want to say about this, we're not going to sit here, go through every single bit of news, 10 minutes at a time, none of that. This is shorter snippets. We want the big headlines done. We want to cover everything we did before. And obviously with that comes some streamlining. So there are a couple of other stories I'm going to go through. We've got a sort of bigger one at the end, I guess I could say. However, for this one, the next thing, we had a new trailer for Terminator, not Dark Salvation, basically the new Terminator 3, Terminator Dark Fate. Now, every year a Terminator film comes, not every year, sorry, every Terminator film that comes out is, quote, the spiritual successor to Terminator 2. There's been 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th film after Terminator 2, and this is still the spiritual sequel to Terminator 2. The trailer looks like every other Terminator trailer. Again, this isn't a trailer review. This is my thoughts that it's hard to be excited when you've had some truly terrible films before it. I mean, the fact that they endorsed Terminator Genesis was endorsed by, apologies, why have I forgotten his name? I feel like an absolute idiot. I feel that the endorsement by James Cameron is ruined Genesis. It made it funny, not ruin the film. The film's one of the worst films I've seen in my lifetime that I've sat through a cinema. I paid to watch that film. That is how depressing that was. It's hard to be excited for a Terminator film when they're all the same. Oh, Arnie's back. Well, he's been back for the last 3 of them, and it's still not worked out. This time, they've brought back Sarah Connor. Is it going to make a difference? I don't know. I'd love it to be good. The trailer looks okay, but you can have good trailers, and they know what they're like. They'll drop another trailer a week before the film comes out and spoil the big plot twist in that one. So I think the poster's nice. We've got a comment from Seaward Man. It says, gorgeous poster. I agree with that. I think it's a very nice poster. It's kind of typical, like sort of the orange blend that you have a lot of Hollywood films these days. But as far as the poster goes, it looks fine, and the Terminator looks practical, which is always a nice welcome addition because we all know we don't really get that too much these days. So there is that. The next piece of news I'm going to be going through is Suicide Squad. So back to DC. Very interestingly, the one, the only Taika Waititi is in talks to star in Suicide Squad. Now, they haven't said what his role will be. They haven't said how not necessarily important the film's going to be, but they haven't said what it is. We just know that Taika is in talks to be in Suicide Squad now. Obviously, he's been in the Marvel films. He's doing Jojo Rabbit. That's going to get briefly mentioned later. And he's not going to hide from comedy. James Gunn, doing Guardians of the Galaxy, also done his Marvel time. And you kind of think that you'd love to see them two get together on a film, so which will be very fun. So we will find out, fingers crossed, soon if he's going to get cast or what that role could be. But in the meantime, I'm just excited to see Taika Waititi in not a DC film, but I'm just excited for any project he puts his name down on. He is becoming very quickly one of the not most respected directors. That's another word for it, but he's become this cult director where anything he does, people are attaching his name to it, and that is something that I feel that you can take notice from. You want to watch his films, you know his films are going to be different. They're not going to be painted by the numbers. Even Ragnarok, I know there are critics and whatnot, but that's the most over-the-top but marvelous film there is. That's the reason people want to watch it. It broke the mold. It made Thor, the funniest Avenger, I guess you could say. It's got a cool audience, and a lot of his other films do, so I do urge people to check them out if you haven't already. Now, for the next bit of news, we have a casting announcement for the Mortal Kombat movie. For those unfamiliar with the news yet, the famous actor, pardon the pronunciation, Hiroyuki Sanada has been cast as Scorpion in it. Now, for you that don't recognize him, he was in the Wolverine, the Japanese one, which was incredible. And he also recently appeared in Avengers Endgame. He played I don't even know the character has a name. So you've seen the film. There's no point in me not spoiling it. When Hawkeye's killing he has a samurai fight. He loses to Hawkeye. Basically, what happened in the Wolverine. He's a respected sort of Japanese actor, martial artist, samurai sword, you name it, he can do it. That's a great announcement for Scorpion. I'm not massive on the history of Mortal Kombat. I've played the odd game, know the odd characters, but seeing him in a film, like a martial arts one, they've also cast some other people in the last couple of weeks. No names as big as that. Lau from the Dark Knight's in it. But that's the big announcement so far the last couple of weeks. So fingers crossed. And the thing is, one thing to casting people, but the next is getting the film together. So we will see how that goes. So now we're going to do something a bit different. We're still on the news. We're going to talk about London Film Festival. So for those that don't know, obviously Toronto is happening, I think very soon. Venice is happening now. London Film Festival is October the 2nd to October the 13th. I've been very fortunate in having a press pass approved, as has Tate. So fingers crossed we're going to get some good content out on the channel for the films that are going to be there. Speaking of the films that are going to be there, last week they announced the full schedule for the entire festival. I'm not going to sit here and name you 345 films that have been put forward for selection. I'm going to go for a couple of the big ones, and then I'm going to go for some. I'm not going to go through them in detail, but some of them you'll know, some of them you won't. So I'm just going to go for it. We know that the opening is with Armando Iannucci's David Copperfield film. If they don't know Armando Iannucci, please see The Death of Stalin. If you haven't seen Death of Stalin, what are you doing? If you haven't seen the thick of it, then there is even more questions to be raised. One of the truly greatest satire comedies in history. Seeing him do David Copperfield is going to be very interesting indeed. So that's the opening night. Closing night is going to be The Irishman. Now, you've all heard of this. This is probably one of my eagerly anticipated films of the year that's remaining. There is going to be Scorsese directing, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Why have I forgotten the other names? Harvey Keitel. Forgive me, anyone in the comments, I've forgotten the name of the guy from Home Alone. This is very awkward on TV because Joe Pesci, he's going to be in it. And then he's got some new people coming into it. So this is a very anticipated film. And to close at a London Film Festival now, London Film Festival is normally, it's not Toronto, it's not Cannes, it's not a Venice, but it sits in that middle tier below that. The announcement they've made this year is, to me, put it into their levels. So some of these are going to be, a lot of these are premiering at a lot of these are premiering at Toronto and Venice, so you've still got the elite sitting above them, but this is the core lineup, I guess we could say. So we've got obviously David Copperfield, The Irishman, we've got The King, we've got Jojo Rabbit, we've got The Lighthouse, Marriage Story, Aeronauts, Knives Out, Greed, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, Le Mans 66 / Ford versus Ferrari. Fortunately, we have the awful name in England. Bad Education, and The Report. Now, I've just listed a load of films. Some of them you might have heard of, some of them you won't. Guaranteed by Oscar season, we'll know quite a few of these. Now, we've got a comment from Movie Dude. the war between Jojo Rabbit and the Irishman. I would say they're my two of the three most anticipated films from London Film Festival. Now, if anyone's read the schedule, if anyone's seen the films, let me know what you think you're anticipated for. But they're two of my three. And for those that know me, know that the third one is going to be, of course, an Adam Driver film, Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson. There are two trailers released on the same day for that. It's well worth checking them out. One of them has Adam Driver playing the trumpet, and you know already, someone decided to not Photoshop, but turn it into a meme, and they replaced the trumpet and the audio of the film, of course, with Binary Sunset. Adam Driver playing Binary Sunset. Who wouldn't pay to watch that? I would pay to watch that all the time. So that's my really anticipated one. But again, we've mentioned we've got press passes. Some of these will cover it, not at the event, but obviously around surrounding the event, whatever we can do. And of course, a lot of these are going to be Oscar season, so is it too early to start hyping up our Oscars live stream? We never know, but that is always one of our big events of the year, so we are looking forward to that. But no, London Film Festival's announcement, that's a very big one. There will be more details nearer the time, but brace yourselves. We've got two Adam Driver films premiering at the same festival. It is going to be incredible. Anyone wants to let me know what they're most anticipated for, drop it in the comments. But yeah, Irishman's going to be there. And speaking of the Irishman, a little bit of news. We've got a couple of stills released via Empire Magazine, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't download onto this, so that's on my bad. However, we have a release date of a Netflix release date of November the 27th, and we have a cinema release date of November the 6th, giving it three weeks in the cinemas before it's going to drop onto Netflix. Now, if you're thinking, I really want to watch the cinema, I do too. It's also going to be 3.5 hours, ... before adverts. So there's rumours there's going to be an intermission. God help me, it will need an intermission. But that is going to be intense. In slight defense of Netflix, I can understand it on Netflix now, because you're going to want to pause. Like, you're not going to sit through 210 minutes straight through of a film you've never seen before, as great as it will be. But that was worth mentioning. So Sunday, October the 13th, it's closing London Film Festival. It's going to be in some cinemas across the country, apparently. November the 6th is going to have its worldwide release for 3 weeks, followed by November 27th Netflix. And it's going to be their Oscar season. We all know it. I cannot wait for it. Now I'm going to wrap this week of news stuff up. This is something that I used to talk about box office. We're cutting out for this one. However, I did want to make a slight exception. In regards to big news, if it's news, don't know, The Lion King crossed 1.562 billion this weekend. It's now the 7th highest grossing film in history. Worldwide box office, all of it. We all know Disney dominating. That's the pattern of the year. It's happening not each week, but kind of each week at this point. We've still got Frozen 2, we've still got Star Wars 9, and would you believe it, Jojo Rabbit is technically now a Disney film. Disney are releasing a film about a child whose imaginary friend is Hitler, who's in the Hitler Youth, whose parent is shielding a young Jewish girl from them all. Now, I'm going to leave you with that thought for a Disney film, and how that's going to be one of the most incredible Disney Plus films you'll ever see. So that's me with the first episode of the news. Thank you for everybody in the comments for tonight. Let me know what you think. Did this work? Did this not? Do we need a second person? Do we need more? Do we need less? It was a quiet week, but give us time and we'll be back there. But in the meantime, I'm going to use this moment to hype up social media again at Cinema Savvy, Cinema_Savvy Instagram, at Cinema_Savvy Twitter, and at Facebook.com/Cinema Savvy. You'll find us on there, details next videos, and we will see you at the weekend with an It Chapter 2 review. So stay tuned for that. We'll have details nearer the time. So in the meantime, thanks everyone for joining, for commenting, and we will see you again. Is that how it ends? I really don't know.